guess what discourages me is a lot of that stuff I see on social media. Everybody is just sort of smart out, instead of trying to be part of the solution and help fix things. They'd rather just complain and take care of it. That's very discouraging. I'll probably help you.
Come on now. Oh man.
Which side of the table is it? I was over at Team Bad just to show how fortunate we are. Sometimes we forget. I was at Team Bad week 4 last, having lunch every day. I stood in that behind, Kevin kept saying, we just side by side with each other, and she said, I'm sorry, but I can't believe you said to me. And as soon as she started talking to me, she wrote. That's how long it's been. That's how long it's been since we saw. Oh. Anyway, she had a young man with one. She lived older sister, grandchild. And her older sister passed away a couple years ago. This girl, her daughter,
no, go ahead. So I'll fix it.
I will say this, as much, and as much as success as we had, but I admire somebody stepping in that change. I mean, that just, was it a class? Actually, I believe her sister. And she was pretty very bright. Don't you have anything? Yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of like Black Street and Jonathan. Twilight.
Depends on which side of the road.
Yeah.
That's right. If it's a problem, yes. On matter of there.
That's like that's really
Well, thanks, John.
it's Terry's problem. Some of the other it's Terry's problem.
Yeah. It's all.
We all looked at her. I thought we got away with somebody that figures her. Derek and I went down. We go on and see how it works. That was right when all this stuff was going on with Europe and going over secret seal. I wanted to just, let's go get it right here. Secret deal, I circled that Europe and put that district forward, show that front. That'd be all right.
It was really cool because we looked at like moved the line, these.
That's correct.
Yeah. Every year, we get a that particular.
The rest of them.
Good evening. Good evening. What's happening, all right? Oh, this another day. Another day in the I'm talking about those breaks.
It comes in on 2 wheels. Yeah.
Might be the only way to do it. Mike, I see your post. What you got there?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was
Mike, once we, on this right after the call, maybe we'll see what you sent us.
Okay. That's the question for you after this, yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna get started. 6:01. We'll call this meeting to order, Madison County Board of Commissioners, agenda setting work session, June 1st, 2026, at 6:01 p.m. We'll start off with the chairman's report, in which I don't have much, other than I'm gonna shoot from the hip on this, because I forgot to put it together, that's all my fault. Catastrophic flooding all over the county. One day we got 4 inches of rain, one day we got 3.5 inches of rain, and there's some water we have washed out there, but it's not completely washed out, but cut across ditches. Our road crew, I sent out about 8 emails first thing this morning about various roads, about ditches full, and trash and debris stopping those ditches up and stopping the cross drains. Thankfully, we had no injuries during any of that, but when you get those kind of act of nature rainfalls, there's not much that any road department or any grading contractor can do about it. But luckily, again, no injuries, and our road crew is out trying to address those issues. If you have potential washouts or culverts stopped up or ditches that needs to be pulled, please contact our office, let us know so we can get a work order sent in to have those took care of for you. I want to apologize to the people in Daniersville for the incident from Saturday, Sunday, with the power outage once again. I don't know the fix there. I don't know what Georgia Power has envisioned for the future along Crawford W. Long, but I think now that is the 10th or 11th time we've lost power in Daniersville. Even after Georgia Power has done substantial work, to do a cut around there so power will come back around, but it still leaves a sector of people out of power for some 8 to 10 hours. Again, just like the first 9 times, a tree has fallen. Look out the power lines, and this particular tree fell onto a family in a car. Thank goodness everybody was safe and made it out of the car. One of the things that we don't have control of as a county is the right-of-way outside of right-of-way boundaries. We've got an 80-foot tree and a 50-foot right-of-way. We can't go in there and cut that tree because it's outside of where we're allowed to work, and it is actually property owner's responsibility. I'm not asking anybody to cut the tree. I'm just saying be mindful. If you see leaning trees on your property, you may want to have some attention given to that tree before it falls on a car and potentially injures somebody. If it's within our right-of-way, please contact us and we will come out and we will take care of that tree for you once the right-of-way has been established. Other than that, I know I can save it till the the road updates, but I want to tell you, we had an accident today. Someone rear-ended our tail truck while we were bush hogging on the side of the road. Bush hog tractors in the front, we had a tail truck behind it with all the lights and bells and whistles and the flags, and they still ran into the rear end of it. Please pay attention, get off your phone. Luckily, no one was injured. The car was actually moving slowly. Don't really know exactly how it happened, but there was damage because of it. This is the time of year where mowing crews are at the peak, especially with the rain the way we're getting. You can almost cut it every 2 days. Problem is, it's raining in between, we don't get an opportunity to, but you're gonna see an increased amount of road work on the sides of roads, on the shoulders of roads. Please be cautious. I want everybody to go home safe, including you. So, thank you for that, and I'll end the chairman's report and ask for business involving guest groups or multiple visitors. Hearing none, we will start public hearing on zoning matters, but before we do that, Mr. Canola Scott, I need to read something from the county attorney, and this was brought to my attention by several board members here regarding public input. I thought I'd never have to say this because I've seen it throughout other counties, but we've gotten to the point now where I'm gonna have to read this. Regular meeting agendas may include a citizen comment period to which the following rules apply. Number one, members of the public who wish to speak at a meeting must sign up on the sign-up sheet provided prior to the start of the Board of Commissioners meeting, provided the speaker's name, place of residence, and speaking topic. Only residents of Madison County, representatives of business organizations located in Madison County or Madison County employees may speak. Please don't twist this up for Facebook. We're saying everybody can speak.
Those two don't apply to zoning hearings.
Yeah, it's coming down to that.
Okay.
Each speaker is allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. Public comments are limited to agenda items and other matters pertaining to the county and or the Board of Commissioners. A member of the Board of Commissioners shall not question the speaker nor make comments until the speaker has concluded his or her presentation. Speakers may not engage in disorderly, disruptive, disturbing, delaying, bolstering conduct, language, or obscene gestures, yelling, or similar demonstrations which conduct substantial interruptions, delays, disturbs the peace and good order of the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners. Signs, flags, and banners are prohibited inside the board meeting room. The Board of Commissioners recommend that multi-speakers from a group or organization appoint a single representative to address the board. Not applicable to the public hearing governed by the zoning procedure laws, OCG 36.6-1. The chair of the Board of Commissioners or other board members proceeding in the chair's absence is responsible for enforcing these procedures. Any attendee or speaking who violates these procedures will be warned by the chair. Condition of violation instruction may result in attendee or speaker being asked to sit down. In the event that any person attending a meeting continue to refuse to follow these rules and disrupt the meeting, that person will be asked to leave, and if they further refuse, may be escorted from the meeting. Repeated violations of the rules may result in the Board of Commissioners prohibiting a person from speaking during the board meeting for any appropriate period of time. Mike is correct. Outside of zoning, when you're allowed to come up and speak.
Yeah, those first three don't apply. That's what, there's a little asterisk there on those first three that you read. Those three don't apply to the zoning hearings.
Now, the driving force behind this, because I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to overstep my bounds as chair over the community, but the reason we're saying this is because if you'll follow social media, there's been a lot of commissioners meeting, ladies and gentlemen, that has got out of hand. That have been very disruptive. They've actually been throwing things and this and that and the other, and then next thing you know, people gets escorted, and they say, well, we have a right to be there. Yes, you do, but you have a right to be an adult too, and talk in a civil manner back and forth to discuss the topics and issues. So this is more of this don't have anything to do with this room tonight. This is all rooms for the future. Everywhere else, we had to start somewhere to cover ourselves from what's going on in the world in which we live in today. So thank you all for hearing me say that. I hope I never have to repeat it. Mr. Canola Scott, let's start off with some zoning here.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Got a couple more chairs up on the front if y'all want.
All right, let's start with item number 1. Kenneth Cosnell is requesting to rezone his 4.46 acres from A2 to AR to allow a second home to be placed on the property. Property is located at 435 Connell Soto Road in Danielsville on map 68A, parcel 44, District 2. Public hearing was held, no one came forward in favor of, no one came forward in opposition to. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted 4-0, there's one member absent, to recommend approval.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Kenneth Gosnell, is there anything you'd like to add to that, sir? Are you comfortable with that presentation?
I'm comfortable with that, sir.
All right, sounds great. We'll move forward. Anyone here to speak in favor of this request? Anyone here to speak in opposition of this request? Hearing none, we'll close the floor, bring it back before the board. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion.
Chairman, I move this rezone request be approved.
Second.
Have a motion to approve by Commissioner Chandler, second by Commissioner Kirk. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, Commissioner Adams.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Motion carries, sir. And for the record, Commissioner May is on vacation this week, so he's not in attendance.
And item number 2, and I'll do apologize in advance to the group tonight, because I'm not very good at names sometimes, so please excuse me if I mispronounce your name. Number 2, Edgar Aurino, applicant for his father, is requesting a variance to allow an existing barn type to remain closer to one side property line that doesn't meet the required 15-foot setback with an approximate 6-foot deficit. The property is located at 1654 Lucky Jones Road in Hull on map 14, parcel 82 in District 1. The public hearing, no one came forward in favor of, no one came forward in opposition to. There was a motion made, it died for lack of a second. There was a second motion made and the board voted 3-1 to recommend denial.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Orlando, is there anything you'd like to add to that, or come on up? I know we're gonna have questions for you, sir.
I got 2 paperworks from each neighbor, letting me know that they don't mind the building being there.
Mm-hmm. So can I ask you a couple questions to start off with, because I don't have it in front of me? Did you all happen to pull building permits prior to construction?
No, sir.
All right. So that means you did not. Had you pulled the permits, you would have known it would have been too close, because they stated in it. I'm looking at the picture that's provided in this, and I'm just questioning for the board's attention. So it looks like the foundation is just sitting on random blocks. I don't see mortar in them, and I don't see the block laying correctly, so it's probably gonna fail inspection, even if it was inspected, based off what I'm seeing here, only from being the previous builder, what I know that, not being ugly. The name, how many names do you have on that list?
2.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other questions, gentlemen?
There is a building permit,
There's a building permit after the fact,
Oh,
correct?
January, yeah. No, this was for January of this year. Colonel, did y'all talk up any of, did you know any information on the building permit?
No, not really.
It says it's for a horse and equipment barn, but I don't know if this is for the same structure on that property. If there's more
The only discussion that we had was that, there was some question as to, if they were going to use it for horses or animals or whatever, then the setback would change from what it is, the 15 feet to 50 feet. During the discussion, they said that that was not the case. We had one several weeks ago, or a month ago, that's kind of the same situation. The difference between the two is that one was completed, this one is not.
Do we have a recommendation from the building inspector? Anything in writing? Recommendation from the inspector? So I just have a verbal, because I asked what the situation was, and they said it's just too close, you can't have it. I wish somebody would have been here tonight, if I.
So, a
So it
question
says,
that,
I'm sorry, it says in the narrative that it was determined that the structure had already been built prior to pulling the permit. We requested an inspection on the structure the following day, so on the 14th, building inspector Eddie went out to inspect and found the structure not met the 15-foot setback from the property line, which is a violation of Article 8. And it just goes into the statistics.
okay, that's all I was asking about the inspection.
It's in the narrative, I didn't read that part, but it does say, Mr. Pritchett did not sign off on the final inspection due to this violation and referred him to the zoning department.
Can I ask one more question? What is the intent of this structure?
To storage, like tractors, cars, later on, you would say, because I have a little brother, and I'm trying to teach him, we in the trade, I do plumbing, trying to teach him some stuff.
Okay, go ahead, you get your.
That was it.
Is that, privacy fence, is that your own privacy fence?
Yes,
And that is essentially on the property line?
Is there power on this particular building currently?
no,
No power. So the intent is not to have power.
that's the plan.
The permit says otherwise.
Yeah. All right. Gentlemen, anyone here speak, you're good. Anyone here speak in favor of this variance? Anyone here speak in opposition to this variance? Hearing none, I'll close the floor and bring it back before the board and entertain the bill.
On these two things, Michael had to say if I can or can't do this. One, both these gentlemen work. Okay, so what I would like to do, recognizing about a month or 6 weeks ago, whatever it was, this board basically set a precedence for a building that was not encroaching on setback, it's actually on somebody else's, part of it's on somebody else's property that we approved. With that being said, and here again, I'm asking you, if I abstain from voting, can I still make a motion that it be approved or denied?
No, if you abstain, you can't make a motion, technically under Robert's rules, you can speak on the matter. But you don't have a that, unless you have more than you said here, it's not a family member and there's no financial, you have no financial interest. So you're not required to diffuse yourself. Obviously you can if you want to, but you're not required to.
All right, that being said, then I would make a motion that the variance on the setback be approved. Is that the fighting word?
Yes, that is correct. I have a motion by Commissioner Adams. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Kirk.
No.
I'm sorry. Second by Commissioner Dahlstrom. Any other comments, gentlemen?
I mean, I appreciate you bringing the comments about the neighbors, you know. I am concerned about the lack of permit prior to. I'm not sure if, you know, one or two votes here or there really set precedence or not. You know, with support of the neighbors is what, you know, kind of leaning in my way. I think we just, I don't know how, and maybe this is a discussion outside this agenda of this particular item, but somehow we've got to make people more aware and a little bit more clarity on it. So just ask for his.
I have a question, but if we were to, approve this, variance here, that doesn't change the, violations as far as this.
No, he would still have to come into, conformity with the codes of the county.
That doesn't approve it.
One of the reasons for the setbacks, and this is my memory from when these ordinances were originally done back in the 90s, discussion of setbacks is to allow emergency, to ensure the opportunity for emergency to get between two buildings, so 15 feet setback on either side. We grant 30-foot opportunity, where this is, where it is on the property, obviously there's no need for it to get passed, which is not justified. One of the issues I had never thought of before, so what do you do when you have a privacy fence that's there? And you already can't get passed. It's something for us to think about. That's one thing that comes to my mind. We need to your point, Commissioner Costa, there's a reason for those setbacks. And it's important for us to inform people, make sure that the public in general is informed of those and the building inspections, with permit applications, etc. And we obviously need to work to make that a smooth process. So people want to come and do it rather than potentially try to skirt that requirement.
Thank you. No other discussion? Commissioner Chandler's on this.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Motion carries.
You understand that you still have to contact the building and inspection department for your inspection and make sure everything's done according to the building. Okay, I just want to make sure you understand. The only thing we approved here was the variance on the setback. So, thank you. Thank you. Now, Scott, you prepared. Yes, sir.
All right, number 3, Mark and Joshua White are requesting a variance to allow a stack house to be built that cannot meet the required 300-foot setback from the property line in 2 places with a deficit amount of 178 feet and 25.7 feet. The property is located at 0 for Rent Church Road in Royston on map 100, parcel 13A in District 4. In the public hearing, no one came forward to speak in favor of the request. No one came forward to speak in opposition to. The motion was made and the planning and zoning recommended 4-0 to recommend approval. The only thing about this particular request is that the setbacks was for another county. In other words, Everett County is too close to the Everett County line. So we talked about that and asked through it, and he said it doesn't matter. We still have to meet the setback requirement. So, bottom line, the recommended 4-0 for approval.
Tell me, so you just said it can't meet anywhere in y'all 4-0 for approval. Is that right? What I just heard? I must have
I'm
missed something.
confused.
I must have missed something.
I'm confused.
State it one more time. You said it couldn't meet anything?
It could not meet the setbacks, the 178, whatever it was.
Okay. And the 25?
Right.
Okay,
Couldn't meet those.
okay.
Couldn't meet it. It could meet it on the Madison County line, but couldn't meet it as far as the Everett County line. So the setbacks have to meet regardless of
It's
what
still
county it is.
It's property line.
Property line, it still has to meet the setbacks.
Okay, I understand that, thank you.
Okay.
A common property line. This one is interior property line, a common property line.
Right,
A property line with some other purpose, some other part.
yes, sir.
Mr. White, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy. Are you comfortable with that, or is there anything you'd like to add to it, trying to explain it a little better?
I applied through NRCS,
Yeah.
National Resources Conservation Service. It took me 5 years to get approved. And, two of the zoning guys came, and I think that they can vouch for the fact that it's a difficult area, simply because that is the tri-county where Hart, Franklin, Madison, and Elbert, I'm at the point of it, okay? And, this is truly for compost services guaranteed. It puts our farm and our business in a better situation than contaminate the ground every day. And, this is something that we desperately need. I have a breeder hen farm, so I've got eggs to deal with, carcasses to deal with, and, my neighbors, Mr. King and Mr. Whitworth, you know, they're gonna use what I compost, because I don't have, you know, hay, or anything like that. They can use it for row cropping and things like that, and I'm willing to do that, just to, you know, let them have it. They have the ability to come get it, and, both of my neighbors are outstanding gentlemen, and, I think there's both a letter from both of those guys, recommending to do such. You know, hopefully this works out. So both of my neighbors have compost sheds right next to me. And, I think I'm a little bit unfortunate because of the lay of the land, but, this is something that we desperately could benefit from instead of, digging holes and covering them up.
Thank you, sir. Anyone here to speak in favor of this, rezone request? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Variance request, sorry, not rezone, variance request. No opposition, we will close the floor, bring it back before the board, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the variance request.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Kurt, second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Commissioner Kurt, it's on you, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Motion carries, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Item number 4, Cullen and Nicole Bryant are requesting a variance to be allowed to build a poultry house on their property to replace one that was recently destroyed in an ice storm that cannot meet 300-foot setbacks requirement from property line in 3 places, with a deficit of about 182 feet, 143 feet, and 5 feet. The property is located at 465 Hillary Road in Gainesville, map 67, parcel 005-01 in District 2. Public hearing was held, no one came forward, for this rezone request, no one came forward against this rezone request. The persons brought a letter of a property owner that said it was okay. And the planning and zoning voted 4-0 to recommend approval.
Thank you, sir. Bryant? I was gonna make it simple. Are you comfortable with that rezone request?
He said it was a
Variance
replacement. That was
request
the
or
only thing I didn't notice in here, is that it's not new, it is a replacement. It just needs to be slightly larger than it was for more taxing minimum requirements.
Thank you. And that's really gonna be the only question I had for you, because we just had one recently, the same situation. They changed their standards, we can change ours.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyone here to speak in favor of this rezone request? Anyone here to speak in opposition to this rezone request? Hearing none, close the floor, bring it back before the board. And gentlemen, I entertain a motion on this variance request.
Chairman, I move this variance request be approved as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Chandler, second by Commissioner Kurt. Any discussion, gentlemen?
Mr. Chairman, just for everybody's information, I am the offended property owner. It would be encroaching on us. The poultry house that was there was already, we're talking about a minor difference from the footprint the poultry house was. Ms. Bryant just recently purchased this farm from Nicole's father, and they've already done a lot to improve it, including removing an old chicken house that was no longer in service. It's been an eyesore. They're doing a lot of work to improve the farm. I'm confident with them that we just purchased that and then lost that degree of income. It will be difficult for them. I can certainly see a hardship there if the house is not allowed to be constructed. So it has my wholehearted support.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments on this?
That's enough. Any objection on replacement structure?
And I do not have any financial.
Right. I will say in discussion, I agree with Commissioner Chandler and Mr. Bryant. This is a no-brainer in my mind, because it's a replacement of existing structure. We have just butchered the variance request lately. This one, along with one just recently, was not butchered. This one's correct. Thank you. Commissioner Doctor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right, number 5. Tyler and Amanda Hall are requested to rezone their 151.68 acres from A2 to A1 to be allowed to build 4 poultry houses on the property. The property is located at 986 Breakwood Road in Danielsville on map 0022, parcel 009 in District 2. Public hearing was held. Gary Harbin spoke in favor of this request. Victor Bruyere, David Pearson, Brent Princeton, and Dale Rain stated that they would support the request if the board placed conditions on the approval that would restrict the property from ever having more than 4 poultry houses. No one actually came forward in opposition except for this particular ask of the board to put conditions on. After much discussion, the board voted 4-0 to recommend approval with no conditions.
Thank you, sir. Mr. and Ms. Hall? Your comfortable with that, we can go with that, but if you got more to add, let us have it.
No, that's about it. We live next door. We had the opportunity to buy additional acres to expand our farm. Unfortunately, the only way we could do that is by putting more poultry houses on it. We drove from Marjack, went to Marjack, said, hey, can we build one or two to support, paying, we all know land's expensive right now. So went to them and said, hey, can we build one or two? Didn't want one or two, more, personally, but wanted the land for our kids' future. And so, went to the bank and they said, well, because it's kind of new, separate piece of property on new property for, I guess their liability, or what's the newest word? Do pick up dead chickens for them.
So they make.
What's wrong with that? So basically, the bank wouldn't allow us to build any less than 4.
Yeah, because it affects their profit, so I know.
Yeah,
I used to work
and
with
so that's why we're requesting 4. I didn't want the 4, the reason we're requesting for no restrictions is not for us personally. Like I said, I only wanted the minimum to afford the property for my future, but, it's just, we know this county's changing so quick, and if my kids want to stay in ag, which I hope they do, I don't want their hands tied. Because it's, not that it's been a huge deal, but we all know it's going to be, 20 years down the road, it's going to be that much harder if they want to replace one of our current houses that we currently have on that property and go through this process. So that's why we're requesting no restrictions, try to be very neighborly, put them at the far back of the property. Any property that touches, the closest residence is over 1,400 foot away. And that's just the ones that touch it. I could have put it closer to Drake Woods. It would have cost the land on that end. I would have had to move a mobile home, but in the land would have been a lot cheaper to grade. Try to be neighborly, stick them in the back corner, come in off our where we currently have trucks coming in, tapping into current wells that we already have to supply. Trying to, there's people in this county that are moving out here that don't like chicken houses, so I'm trying to be as neighborly as I can. That's about it.
You made a comment that to go along with your adjacent farm, what do you have the adjacent farm? Chicken houses as well? Yeah, we have broiler farms, 6 broiler houses now that are pushing 30 years old, close to 25, 30 years old. And then we've got cattle. And so we really wanted to buy the property to expand our cattle. That's our real love. But to be able to afford, we're first generation farmers, to be able to afford that, we had to put something on it that could get an income coming. Thank you, sir. Any questions, gentlemen? All right. Anyone here to speak in favor of this request, rezone request? I'll use these words. Rezone request.
Stephanie Harden, 7747 Highway 172.
I just want to make sure you say your name and address for the record.
I'm gonna stick to script. They said it would never happen, but recently in Oregon, there were enough signatures to get Proposition 28 on the ballot this year. That will ban all chicken houses and raising of livestock for meat and dairy. That's where we're headed. It's now become a reality that they don't want us to continue farming. So Northeast Georgia has been and will always be the chicken capital of the world. Farmers are increasingly being forced to defend their very existence through public hearings, lawsuits, and constant opposition. There is no dividing agriculture into categories. We are one industry. When you oppose one of us, you oppose all of us. Most cattle farms would not survive without chicken houses. There should be no conditions put on this property involving chicken houses if the zoning allows it. Setting a precedent works both ways. Are we really going to set a precedent in Madison County that implies the #1 industry here has no flexibility or room for growth? At this point, we have to decide whether we truly value agriculture or only value it when it's convenient. Thank you.
Anyone else speak in favor of this rezone request? Anyone here to speak in opposition to this rezone request?
Can I ask a question of what the trucking route will be permanently?
I don't know, we don't set that, but we don't set the trucking route. I mean, we have roads, there's no through roads, but if they have a destination on that road, they're allowed to travel.
So who's gonna split the bill for the preparation?
We don't get into that, folks. That ain't something we can do.
This is,
You and I just leave
we can
this
have a
roll, I guess.
conversation. just
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
you would need to step up to the microphone, take your name if you're in opposition. And then we can try to converse.
No, we need to listen.
Yeah, well, then we listen, sorry. There's just some things that's out of county control.
Mike Allen, I have a property on 427 Driftwood Road, we speak quite frequently. My question is what's the trucking route? Because you know as well, the road is 80% repaired, 100% repaired as of maybe 6 months ago. It's back down to 80 due to alligator patches already coming in the curve across the creek. So where are we gonna be at when, I don't oppose the farming, but what are you gonna do to make that road not destroyed again?
Good point. Next in opposition.
Bill Wrong, 633 Drakewoods Road. And again, I'm not opposed to Mr. Hall putting up 4 chicken houses. You know, I'd hope for none, but 4 is reasonable there. But we all know things change. And I'm not opposed to 4. I do worry about unlimited down the road because we do know that things change. Actually, 2 years ago, we were here and it was a change of zoning that was requested just a short distance away. And it was a change from A2 to AR and had Barry German stand up here and said he wanted the change because he wanted his children to be able to build right there, build a forever home and wanted his children there forever. The rezoning was requested, was approved, and he wanted his children there forever. It was approved, and within 30 days of even the restrictions there, the for sale signs went up, and within 12 months, those other lots were sold, and now there's three owners, non-related there. And what changed in that was that he was able to purchase the land for $9,600 and sell it for $25,000 an acre. The rezoning allowed him to reap the profit, going from $9,600 an acre to $25,000 an acre in less than a year. So my concern here is that changing this property with unlimited restrictions, going from A2 to A1 and allowing some time down the road, it being sold to a commercial, a large commercial farm that would put not 4, but maybe 20 chicken houses in there, or going to even, short ways down the road, it went to, they wanted to go to a double layered laying house and it going from a family farm with 6 or 10 chicken houses down to a large commercial operation of 30 houses or more. And that going away from a family farm of small operation to a large commercial. And that changed the whole character of that property. Now, I've been coming to these meetings for a number of years, and I've seen restrictions placed. I've seen just like the meeting tonight where someone come in with a reasonable proposal asking for a variance or a change of restrictions. And I will say I've never seen this body make an unreasonable request and turn it down. You know, some of them seem, you know, I mean, one tonight where, you know, changing it, none of the requirements were met, but it was a reasonable request, and it was proposed. So I don't think something 10 years from now or 15 years from now to change it, a reasonable request is unreasonable for you guys. So thank you very much.
Mike, can I make a comment about it at all? It's not about the rezone. It was about a statement that was made.
No. I agree.
You put me in an awkward position, Mr. Chairman.
That's what you're doing.
I couldn't resist trying it out. I've been waiting months for this candy to be back in stock, and I finally.
It'll sit well. Anyone else here in opposition?
I'm Bob Fitzpatrick, 2318 Friendship Church Road. Here I am one more time beating this dead horse, over on Friendship Church Road. The land beside me sold. We need to do a moratorium in this county. This chicken house bill needs to stop until y'all can get a good plan together. Don't just let it keep going. It's ridiculous. Within a quarter mile of my house, I've got 40 chicken houses. I walk out on my front porch, I see 26. I walk out on my back porch, I see 6. That's ridiculous. Enough's enough in that spot. Put them somewhere else. Do something else with them. If we have some kind of disease hit these chicken houses over close to my house right now, that's over 3 million pounds of birds that's going to get buried. My water table's already down. You can't go outside in the evenings. Water pollution. I've got creeks behind me. If these get built beside me, they're gonna pollute that creek, no doubt. I don't care, you know, what nobody says it's gonna happen. Something needs to be done, and right here's where the buck stops. Y'all need to do something. You need to put a moratorium on this. You need to put a land density on this. Something, you know, something's gotta happen. These commercial farms coming in, they're not mom and pop farms. They're commercial farms. You let a mom and pop farm come in, and then they've got room to grow. Their kids sell that farm in 20 years, 10 years. You've got somebody come in with deep pockets. There you go. You got an explosion in chicken house. If they're already there, you ain't gonna stop it. You can't stop it. I thank y'all.
Thanks, buddy. All right, anyone else in opposition?
Good evening. My name is Victor Boucher, 4506 Hudson River Church Road. I will limit my points. I'm not really opposed against the rezoning with conditions, but I want to set 2 things straight for the record. First of all, what's a family farm? I looked it up, and the USDA and the Department of Agriculture are very clear on it. A family farm becomes a commercial operation when it raises and slaughters 20,000 chickens a year. Mr. Hall has already 6 chicken houses. That's over 20,000 chickens. The second point I like to make is On the agenda, I noticed this afternoon that they are requesting to rezone their 150 acres. Last week, Tuesday, I went to the Superior Court, got a copy of the deed, and the deed is in the name of Da Il Community Christian Retreat Center, represented by President Choi. According to Madison County and state law, if you rezone and you're not the owner of the property, you gotta have the property owner authorization form. And my question is, does that form accompany the application which is on your desk? And the property owner authorization form has to be original, signed by Mr. Choi, and notarized. And Mr. Chairman, do we have that form in your file, in the file?
I have the answer to that, but we're gonna wait till discussion before we discuss the points that are raised.
Correct.
Okay. An agent is not sufficient. It has to be the property owner.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
Anyone else in opposition? We will now close the floor. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Hall is going to have.
Hey. Yeah, I'm John Bruce Tabor. You know, on the 3020 Macedonian Church Road. Do it? Opposed? Not necessarily. I'm for what, I want to reiterate what Bob said. We just need a chicken density moratorium, or not moratorium, but we need rules. So if this young couple, would recommend them being a young couple, not a corporate farm, they want to come in and build these chicken houses. You know, if you say within a square mile, right now we have 40, and next to Bob, because I'm close to Bob, my daughter's right next to Bob. But if you put another 18 right beside Bob, and we hear there's another 18 going at Stonewall's Crossing.
Point of order, Chair.
But that's,
You need,
I understand.
not being disrespectful, but we need to stick to the particular point of order that's on the table.
So what I'm trying to say is we need a bigger plan. So this gentleman here, if they buy the property, it's their property, they know that there's 4 going in here, there could be 20 more going in 20 years from now. It really helps the whole thing if we have more rules that we can follow.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else in opposition to this rezone request?
Hey, how are you? My name's Leo Till, live on Bonds Lake Road. I'm not against the chicken houses. I love agriculture. I've got a lake and I own my land. But what happens when the water table drains down? I hear different people say different things. Who's gonna pay for me to drill another well deeper so that I can have water for my family? I was just curious about that. And, I was wondering if you were gonna take a hand note, is how many people here are against it, but not gonna get up and say anything because, you know, so forth and so on. So,
I'll be more than happy to.
thank you.
Oh, cannot.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Have a safe day.
Oh.
Still open?
Yes.
Okay. David Pearson, 466 South Oaks Drive. Love the community, love the Pokey area. I volunteer firefight with Tyler Hall. I love what his family's doing, and I'm not opposed to the 4 chicken houses. The only concern I really have is, and I'm not sure, I sent a letter to all the commissioners. Did y'all by chance receive that? Okay. I'm more concerned about the community that we have in our area. And just, if you look at the surrounding area, there's really no more than about 10 chicken houses or less on any given property. There is one family that does have.
My boss.
No, please. It's happening to all of us. So I appreciate Mr. Chandler coming out to our public meeting and pointing out that we do have some condition options that we could definitely review as a community and also a committee. And I would just like to ask that we take that into consideration, because once it's A1, it's A1. And nobody knows what the future holds. And And I don't think that area really would benefit from any additional growth, or very minimal growth would be fine, I think. On top of it, it's just down the road. But just really concerned about what that's going to do for our community. So that's really why. Thank you.
Anyone else in opposition? Yes, sir.
I'm Wendell Hanley. I'm at 1769 Wesley Chapel Road. I also got property on Johnson Down Road. I'm in opposition not to the 4 houses on there. I think that's a great idea. But to open it up to where you can put as many as you want to. I understand families want to come in and want to live and want to be together. I bought more property. My son's on my property. And I like that. However, leaving it open to where you can build as many chicken houses as you want to is unbecoming of our community. I'm also the pastor of the Anchor Church, which is right across the road from where these will be built. So I'm in opposition. I'd like to see some kind of limit put on it. If it's not the 4 that he's putting there, then maybe something within reason that the board would see fit to make a stand with.
Thank you. Anyone else in opposition? All right, now we will close the floor correctly and bring it back before the board. Rebuttal. Yeah, rebuttal, sorry. Yeah, I forgot it got in.
All right, I'll try to make a quick run down the list. Drake Woods won't see any more road traffic from semis than what they currently see. I can't help anybody who drives down there, but they'd have no reason to go down that road to that point. Other people getting bit by selling their previous property and then taking out on me, don't really see that that's a point either. We're here to stay. I'm the assistant chief for Pokey Volunteer. I coach kids in the rec department, part of the Calvin Association. We go to church here, and we're here to stay. It ain't something we're gonna, anybody that's in this room, if my kids that's 2 and 4 are worried about what they're gonna be doing down the road, we're all gonna be dead. It ain't gonna matter anyways. As far as Dow Community, we bought it from them, and it takes a minute to change that on deeds and stuff. I have a copy of the deed where it is in our name if y'all would like to see that. Water issues. When we met at the winery for our public thing, personally asked several people, do you know anything about chicken houses? Majority of them, the answer is no. They don't understand in the middle of summer, the week we sell birds, a house might use 6 gallons a minute, or it's not an astronomical amount of water. It's not affecting the water table like people, they just like to pull things out that they think is gonna, touch hearts or hurt feelings. And at the end of the day, and this is not my words, this is when we had that meeting, they're trying to tie my hands in my area for my family because they don't want to fight the property behind Thousand Oaks where they had to fight that person who has multiple farms putting in whoever knows how many chicken houses. Their words, again, not mine, they don't want to set a precedent that chicken houses are allowed to be built in our area. So I'm being punished in my little area. Again, could have them come in off Drake Woods, would have been a lot cheaper and grading wise, but again, trying to be neighborly. It will save me a little more because I can run off my wells instead of drilling. So not drilling, don't plan to drill more wells. And then, so with all that said, I would request a approval without restrictions. Again, I don't plan on building 4. I didn't want the 4. I wanted 1 or 2 to pay for it. Just try not to hold tie my kids' hands for the future. That's it. Thank you.
Now that the rebuttal has ended, we will close the floor.
Or is there something you need to respond to with that issue?
Well, Mr. Scott had told me about Mr. Boutier's comment, so I gave him a chance to look up the deed. I'm assuming Mr. Boutier got that information from Key Public, and as y'all know, the tax assessor's office has to work that throughout the year, and then they pick, everything is correct by January 1, which is the ad valorem tax date. So, the deed from Diel Community Christian Church to the hall was recorded in March of this year. So probably just having it picked up and added to keep up with you.
What is that?
From Superior Court last week, the 151 acres, not the 5 acres they bought before, that's in their name.
I got the deed for both. It's 2 parcels.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all one.
Yeah, this is, if I may just, now that we're in discussion, so this deed is from Diel Community Christian Retreat Center, Inc., to Amanda Leanne Hall and Matthew Tyler Hall. It's recorded on March 12, 2026. Tract 1 is 5.01 acres. Tract 2 is 151.703 acres.
It is recorded.
All right. Christine, could you go to the slide that shows the zoning of all the area, properties in the area? Can everybody see it? What does it mean? All the dark green are currently A1 properties. The one that's highlighted in black is the parcel that's under request here tonight. We're considering, if you look at all of the, what I wanted to see, what is important to me, one of the things important to me to look at this decision is what are the adjacent properties like, what are the near properties like. All of these A1 tracts, none of them have any kind of conditions on them. So without any kind of public input at all, any one of those dark green tracts could become a poultry farm under currently what our ordinances are. As long as they meet the ordinance requirements, setbacks, et cetera, any one of those parcels could become poultry farms at this time. Something more real. So we're going to move forward.
Absolutely. I'll entertain a motion.
One other comment to the community, particularly to all those that were there at the community meeting at the winery. Thank you very much. I thought that was very appropriate. I thought it was very, very well done and professionally done. Thank you all for taking the time to meet Tyler and his wife and hear what they're planning to do and understand what they're. And so many times we go through these things and nobody goes to the trouble to find out who their neighbor is. So thank you very much for doing that. You may never invite me again, but thank you for having me there that one time. I move this revote request be approved as presented.
A motion by Commissioner Chandler, do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen?
No, I appreciate everybody that came out to speak, whether one way or the other, but I appreciate the community involved.
All right. Hearing no other discussion, Commissioner Adams, it's on you, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Motion carried 4-0. Gerald Hunt, sir.
All right, item number 6. Gerald Hunt.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Folks, please.
Hey, how you doing? How's that boy here?
Thank you.
Mr. Gardner, you're being very patient. Something else you won't see, but you're welcome to not say too.
I just forgot I had one question.
Oh, well, sure.
We were like here saying, notice that it's in number green.
Before you,
Big good.
before you turn around.
It was rezoned the moment we done it, sir.
And it'll be in the minutes when we're closed.
And they'll get a copy of it. Yes, sir.
Don't forget your tab. That's not your, okay. Oh, okay.
I was just joking.
That's fine. All right, we're ready.
We are now ready to hear Mr. Gerald.
Thank you. Gerald Hunt is requesting to rezone his 18.8 acres from A1 to A2 to allow a second home to be placed on the property as accessory dwelling unit. The property is located at 3187 Vineyard Creek Church Road, Comer map 0094, parcel 044 in District 4. Public hearing was held. No one came forward in favor of, no one came forward in opposition to. After much discussion, the planning and zoning recommended to the Board of Commissioners that this request be approved by a 4-0 vote.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hunt, is there a representative for Mr. Hunt here? All right. Anyone here to speak in favor of this rezone request? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Hearing none, we'll close the floor, bring it back before the board. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve this, the rezone.
Second vote.
Motion by Commissioner Kurtz, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Mr. Chandler?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right, agenda items 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Taken up in one vote. I'll try my best to explain. Stephanie Wilson, applicant for Madison County Industrial Development and Building Authority, is requesting to rezone 64.79 acres from A1 to industrial combined with adjoining properties. And I will read number 8. Applicant for Madison County Industrial Authority and Building Authority is requesting to rezone their 1.88 acres from business to industrial combined with adjoining properties. The 64.79 acres is presently A1. All of the rest, 8, 9, 10, and 11, which is 1.88, 1.88, 1.78, and 1.79, is zoned presently business. They're requesting to rezone both of these to industrial. Presently, our zoning ordinances just addresses industrial. It doesn't break it down into any kind of light industrial or heavy industrial or any kind of industrial. It just says industrial, okay? So, this came before the planning and zoning, and we had much discussion about it. The planning and zoning voted to approve this rezone request with conditions. And the condition being that it be light industrial. Now, since we don't have light industrial, our condition is as follows. Uses of the property are restricted to light industrial, meaning such uses must support flex space, warehouse, distribution, light manufacturing, storage and service commercial development of low and mid-scale intensity. Light industrial uses must be operated so that noise, odor, dust, and glare of such operations are primarily confined within the enclosed building. Also, because this is going from A1 as part of it, and going from business as the other part.
No,
Sir,
You can't-
sir,
can't shut the door.
that door's gotta be left open for
But we can't ask them.
Yeah, we can get it quiet.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you. That's just a.
We feel like the same thing sometimes, trust
That's
me.
just the law, we have to have the door open. Thank you, though.
Go right ahead, sir.
In addition, the property may be put to any of the permitted uses as in our orders. Today, there are 74 permitted uses. Those 74 permitted uses are primarily business. So, to kind of cut it short, the planning and zoning is recommending approval with these conditions.
You have a
Light industrial, and light industrial would include the 74 permitted uses. Okay?
Mr. Pruitt, I assume you helped with these.
Yes.
You all actually have, the resolution in your packet that lists the conditions. It should be the first document that you have under.
If it is approved.
And I'll, reiterate for the 10 millionth time, as Southern County Attorney, I would love to see a resolution on every rezone we do. The form has been provided.
All right, so anyone here to speak in favor of this rezone request? Anyone? Yes, ma'am.
Madison? Yeah, I'm in favor of it. My name is Denise Bickler. I live at 260, but I also own 232 Mimosa. We're in favor as long as we have the light residential restrictions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Gibbons, what was your last name?
Bixler, B as in boy, Ixler.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In favor of it, come on up.
Well, I got questions. I wasn't there, but I respect my fellow planning and zoning people.
My question is, I have some questions. All right, according to what they said, yes, when zoning requests come up, changes in the fabric of any area, someone's lives an area of either agriculture or residential, people will come out to protect their investment. And you hear that we have to offset our taxes, you keep saying no. If it has to go somewhere, it has to go somewhere. We want to keep our rules, which a lot of us do. We do want to decrease our taxes. That's just everything everybody wants to do. And right, it has to go somewhere, but nobody wants it in their backyard. Just like we witnessed tonight, the ag people will come out and protect their area because everybody bought in an area and they want to protect it. They don't want fabric changes that are extreme. And I'm asking, well, my question is, as he said, under those 74 business, which we have business is under 7.77, it says intended commercial development. Why can this not be expanded a business park that offsets taxes with commercial business hubs that employ 20 or more that will offset those taxes? There's plenty of counties around Georgia, rural counties that want to keep themselves rural, and they do not let the industrial come in. They do offset it with other things, like business hubs, floating taxes. I don't know if we use the floating taxes.
I'm gonna try to answer your question.
Increase
That is
recreation.
the question?
Huh?
Is that your question?
No, my question is, you know, why don't we look at neighborhood, scale community business and service hubs that is beneficial to the community.
Correct.
Plus, it enhances visual appearance.
All right.
We want to live in a place that looks visual. I know I go out to the country and it's pretty.
You gotta help me narrow that question.
Okay, my question is, well, first, like, why don't we solicit grocery stores like Aldi's and Sprout Farmers Market, which are community business neighborhoods, and, or, business-to-business distribution, logistics, mental health, I mean, we have households around here, health products and stuff like that, or
All right.
supply
Well,
distribution.
let me try to answer your question before we get it.
Well, I have a question about the.
No,
Okay.
I got 3 minutes.
Okay.
And we had 2.5.
Well, I didn't
Use
get
the
to my
last
first one.
No, it's 15 minutes per side, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to
Okay.
say, that 3 minutes is one of the things that.
If there may be more people here and out in favor.
Okay, but I'm just saying, why can't we, because, when you go to industrial, they say names don't matter, they do matter.
Okay.
When you say industrial, even light industrial, according to HUD, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, your property decreases in value. If you're just half a mile, 0 to half a mile is 10 to 20% of proximity.
All right.
I mean, you have decreased.
I got all the statements, but you come to the microphone to ask a question. What's the question?
My question is, why can't we expand this to a business, park with companies that are beneficial to the community and have 20 or more employees?
Okay.
And it does the same thing.
Perfect.
And the other thing is, where's the water coming from? I didn't hear that. And what are we gonna do with resale? I know they're gonna protect what goes in there now, but how are we gonna protect if there's a resale? Because we ran into that on Business Drive with that.
Can I
transfer
help you answer your
station.
question?
Okay.
Because I got like 7 of them out of that one question.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna answer them real quick for you.
All right.
So if you pay attention to the rezone, it's a business/industrial rezone. Business rezones means it has a storefront in which people come in and trade dollars for goods. Light industrial means they may make a particular product in which it's sold to a warehouse.
Right.
We can have both. That's a mixed use.
I
So
understand
business will
that.
be part of it. Light industrial will be the second part of it. Our current industrial park at Madison Park is a light manufacturing. There is no walk-in customers in that thing except for the new Dollar General which just opened last week. That clarifies what's there. The reason it's in that area, why it works, is because there's a railroad track and a 4-lane highway deemed by the state that is an industrial corridor, which by the IDBA, they went above and beyond and put business on the front, light industrial on the back to service those businesses on the front. It's a win-win for everybody. Based off those 74 conditions that was presented tonight, you will see the restrictions in that to have no jackhammering at midnight. So you mentioned water. We have a 12-inch main running up through there to supply the water for it. If I get it in Aldi's, you got a lot more cost. The land has to lay a certain way. That land does not lay that way. So therefore, it's better to, what the request being presented by the IDBA is perfect for that particular location. Does that answer your question?
Okay, what I'm saying is resale.
That is retail.
Okay.
Business is retail.
No, I said resale.
Oh, resale.
If
I can
we
do that.
resell,
It'll
how
fit.
are you gonna protect
It'll
what
fit.
goes in there after
You can't.
somebody resells? And also,
Let me
you're
explain.
saying that you get the same thing.
I gotta go.
You gotta have industrial.
I gotta go.
It's a public hearing, just supposed to hear comments, and that's it.
Yeah,
That's right.
I know, I'm just,
But I'm
Because
saying,
you're a board
when you
member, I'm
use
trying to
that
help you
word
understand.
industrial, it does, it affects your property tax, because you have industry, you have the word industry.
Gotcha.
And that's according to EPA, even though EPA does not monitor that, they said you do. So that's what I said, why do we have to have the word industry? Why can't we just do it as
because the
it is
ordinance
now?
says so.
We don't have one for industry, like,
We have industrial. We have an industrial.
we don't have light industrial, that's what I'm saying, any
Correct.
kind of industrial
The
in that
light
area.
industrial has been deemed by the 70 degree. I'm not going into this any further.
Okay.
I can't right now. We've got a lot to go through. But I promise you, it is exactly what you asked for. You're just reading more into it than it's there. I promise. Come sit. Come sit
understand
with
what
me
you're
prior to
saying.
the meeting,
Okay.
prior to these meetings, when you got these in-depth questions, come sit down. Or come to an IDA meeting, and we'll explain it.
No, but I'm just saying, I couldn't make our meeting, but I'm just saying, once you have that word industry, it does affect. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Anyone here else in favor?
There's two terms in there, in the,
Right.
number one, in the conditions that I'm gonna make sure that we're comfortable that we have enough definitions to ensure that, so light manufacturing, do we in our definitions specify what light manufacturing is, and also low to mid-scale intensity? Are those, of course, I don't want those to be ambiguous terms that we can't really define.
One more, Mr. Chair, thank you. Can we close the public comment period?
I ain't got done with opposition yet.
Well, that's what I'm trying, before we
Can we finish it?
Yeah, can we finish?
Before we enter into discussion among the commissioners.
In favor before I closed opposition? In favor.
Wait.
We're still in favor.
Danielle
Okay.
Lyle, 321 Mimosa Drive.
What was your last name again? Sorry.
Lyle, Lyle.
Thank you.
Thank you. I asked the Board of Commission to approve this project in its entirety as voted upon by the Planning Commission meeting, as light industrial. The IDBA zoning request as submitted and presented was unclear and submitted without the alignment of what would best serve the project and the community because the lack of proper zoning options. Industrial being what was thought was the only option. That's what I got from the Planning Commission. I would like to know a time frame, and this could be attorney, from when the zoning code of light industrial will be approved by the Board of Commission, as well as will the current code of industrial interfere with the Planning Commission's motion and the Board of Commission approval tonight. I will speak that I continue with the Planning Commission recommendation and their vote. I will say the industrial zone currently, as written in the Madison County Code, would allow for increased large trucking terminals, landfills, solid waste facilities. You all know what's in the code. I don't have to rehash that. We're just looking to protect that area. I will say, due to not knowing who will purchase the individual lots and not knowing what type of business will be operated on them at this time, the community does have concerns with traffic congestion, noise, lighting, etc. The April 14th, 2026 letter to the Planning Commission from IDBA also asked that the business park on this property house commercial and light industrial, not only industrial. Also, if I have missed this in the mounds of paperwork, is there consideration plan submissions with GDOT for median cut-through at the project entrance for ingress egress on and off of Highway 72? The new cut, it would be, if it's in the middle of the Mimosa Drive cut and the upward cut that's currently used for a U-turn, will one of those have to go? Has that been considered to have an additional median cut? That's pretty much it. It does, once I came to the last meeting, it seems like a lot of work has been done on it. I appreciate my community for coming out and speaking to you tonight. Thank you.
Anyone else in favor of it? Anyone in opposition? Hearing none, we will close the floor, bring it back before the board. So,
Me, District 5, I'll make a motion to approve, the ordinance is presented or the amendment that's presented to us, the way it's written. That's my motion, that's a comment.
Second. Have a motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Chandler. Discussion, gentlemen.
Just a question, this is a mighty question. Because the IDA is,
Government entity.
government, do they even have to ask this question?
No, they don't, but their whole purpose is to sell these lots to private business. So rather than do rezones individually, as sales occur, their choice was, this will expedite the sale process by doing it now.
Okay.
Several things was mentioned. DOT has been contacted. DOT has approved the drawings. As a matter of fact, the bid award has already been published. RFP has. There is no new curb cut. There's the current curb cuts that's there is the existing curb cuts. There is a eyebrow out for the one, so they're not tracking off the edge of pavement. All consideration has been taken, and I've got to say, thanks to many people, Mike has been instrumental in putting this together along with David and Stephanie to get these fine points pointed out because of the way our ordinance currently reads. That's why Mr. Scott pointed out those 73 items specifically. So therefore, whenever an ordinance is written, it can be interpreted into that ordinance. Good job. Good job, everybody, putting that together. Mike, I know you pulled your hair out on this one.
Well, you know,
Yeah. But anyway, good job. I do think that everything that could be taken into account to protect the citizens, but yet accomplish the goal of expanding the tax base without making detriment to the community has been taken. Again, IDA did a great job with that. I'm very proud of it. So, any other questions amongst our table?
I apologize for being out of place while ago, but my question about those terms, do you feel like in the balance of these conditions here, are we sufficiently defined those so we're not creating an ambiguous opportunity?
So that paragraph is listed directly from the UDC, which does have a light industrial classification, and that is how it defines it. It does not define those terms used within the definition.
Do we need to better?
That's a big question. From a legal, I think it's fine legally. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Is Valerie allowed to say anything or ask a question?
Not now that I've closed the floor.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm excited. I guess I would just encourage IDA to work with council as we move forward. I'm going to support this. There's, I'll say some nuances there that might could be refined, if you would, as they go forward, and either whether it's an additional something that has to go back here, or if it's just a contingent to sale of deed restriction. What other mechanism needs to be in place? I'm not saying we have to. I'm just saying just vet through that. And then I noticed, and I know it's just a concept drawing, but I think that road was about 2,000 feet down to the end.
Yes.
Probably just need to look at again, not trying to design on the fly, but probably need to look at a mid-block cul-de-sac, whatnot, just for better movement. I mean, half a mile is pretty good little ways to get a big truck or some other equipment down there, or be able to get fire trucks turned around if they made a mistake. So just a couple of nuances, maybe work with staff on that.
The other thing I might suggest to my fellow board members is, in order for the IDA to facilitate this and attract businesses, at some point, we're going to have to face the challenge of putting in place business licenses or occupational sales tax certificates for this county. It is part of the process, and there's no way around it. And I mean, to get something there that's something besides a thrift store or a nail salon, or something like that, you've gotta do the things with, whatever they do, make, sell, or fabricate, can go everywhere else without having to buy a business license everywhere else they go.
Before I go around the table, I want to make one more mention to something that's been said multiple times tonight in various, rezones, including this one. We can't control the next person that comes in. You don't know. Once we rezone something, whether it's business, whether it's industrial, whether it's agricultural A1, or whether it's currently A1, we don't have the power to condition past that first person.
With the rezone conditions.
The rezone condition can, but when we say we're gonna rezone this 2 acres for a store, we don't know that that store is always gonna be a store. It's still gonna be business, even if they tear it down and put a pawn shop. I'm just saying, you never know what you're gonna get, and that's something that's outside our power unless that condition is made, specifically saying, know this, know that.
This is my question again. At Madico East, we had a condition there that, for whatever reason, failed to be applied, that if a speculator were to purchase 1 lot, 2 lots, 20 lots in here, are the time restraints that applied at Madico East that weren't enforced, where I believe it was 2 years to do some development or improvements to the property, are they included in these?
The IDBA board will set those in the contract.
Right, so Chairman Jones and Stephanie and I actually discussed it at the IDA meeting last week. Yes, we've got to refine, we want to do something that's a little more, has a little more meat on the bones than Madico East, but yes, that is the plan of the IDBA.
Yep. Thank you. The last thing we want to do is develop a land bank for somebody else. All right, going around the table, Commissioner Kirk, it's on you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Motion carries. Mr. Porter.
Before we leave this one, I want to, first of all, thank the IDBA for presenting this to us in such a way that we were able to work our way through it, and for his guidance, and thank the Board of Planning and Zoning for their thought pattern and going through all of the options. And so anyway, there's a lot of things to go around, so we do appreciate everybody working so hard. I'm getting calls that you guys should be getting, so, you know, so, but anyway, thank you for that. Number 12. This is our last one. Gary Harvin, applicant for Kevin Gordon, is requesting a variance to allow proposed lot 1, 6.355 acres to remain in its original configuration that does not meet the length and width ratio that requires a lot's length that can be no greater than 4 times its width. The property is located at 2870 Crabapple Hollow Road in Nicholson, map 0017, parcel 009E in District 1. Mr. Harvard addressed the board and asked a question. To open the public hearing, nobody came forward for this particular rezone request. We had Kyle Coleman, Jessica Coleman, and Norman Lynn Chambers spoke in opposition to this request. Time was allowed for Mr. Harvard to make rebuttal comments. The public hearing was closed and a vote was taken, and the vote ended up to be 4-0 to recommend approval. I think this goes back to something that happened a while back, that this had to be done in order to for that to be approved. So anyway, bottom line is the Planning and Zoning Board
4-0 to recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Are you comfortable with that, or Mr. Harmon, are you comfortable with that
I
presentation?
will note that, the opposition has been resolved, from what I understand from Mr. Gordon, but the opposition was not against our variance request. They were just, had some issues, they were the issues between the two of them, so. Perfect. Any other questions, you gentlemen have? I have one, we can talk about the island lot. Was there a resolution there? Nothing yet, but we would still be fine with condition that if the same family bought that lot, that we would, work to have that combined, that condition is fine, yes, sir.
All right. Anyone here speak in favor of this, variance request? Anyone here speak in opposition to this variance request? Hearing none, we will close the floor, bring it back before the board. Gentlemen, I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, this request be approved as stated.
Motion by Commissioner Adams, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Coster.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add an amendment that if the island lot is sold to a family member, or to the same owner of one of the other adjacent lots, that it be joined to the, I don't know what's the best way to word it, but if it is purchased by the same person or same party as adjacent property, then it be joined instead of kept as a separate lot. Combined. Yeah, combined.
So the condition is that if the island lot and the tract that surrounds it come into common ownership.
So there's two island lots, I guess if the condition could be specific about that one parcel, maybe by parcel number. We probably, the interior island lot you're referring to, that's correct? Yes. Okay, yeah, so, as long as we specify that parcel, I guess.
Is that not what they approved at the last meeting?
Yeah, it was part of the request. Yeah, I think we had a request.
Contingently approved.
Yes, it was phrased
It was
as a
a request.
request, but not a condition. I think tonight it's being converted to a condition.
Yep, so as long as there's another island lot, I just wanna make sure that it joins it as well, that it's one specific island lot, that was all on the wording, is all that I would ask.
You used the word condition when you made that voluntary statement, so here we are now.
But there are two island lots, so I just wanna make sure we're clear. I didn't know you sit down here. Yeah. You just hold me deeper. Yep. Is that an amendment need a second?
No, as long as, no member of the board objects to the amendment, it stands as
The
amended.
amendment will read, per our last approved minutes,
Okay.
that if and when the variance is approved, so it'll state that the rezone becomes effective, lot 3 be combined with the 1.5 acre outlot shown on the site plan, which is what we were told at our last meeting.
No, but they're under different ownerships, so that.
Okay, so how would you like for me to, how do I need to work this then?
So this condition is that if that, what I would call the island.
Center
that
island
we need
lot.
to use the center island that we need to use the parcel number for.
Okay.
Ever comes under common ownership with the tract that surrounds it, then the two will be combined into a single lot.
What could you say with any of the adjacent parcels? It would could potentially go either way.
I have to go in the one that surrounds.
Yeah, we go into, track 1 would be or track 3, I'm sorry, would be the one that would be joined with in that situation. It joins with track 1 or track 3. It's adjacent to track 1 or track 3.
Oh,
I don't think
Or
it goes
track
that
2.
far.
It's got a.
I think you're talking about this.
No, I'm talking about the one in the middle. Yeah. But it has a common property line. The track 2, it has a common property line. The track 1 has
Oh,
a common
yeah,
property
you're
line.
right. If you look at the actual map, and not that you probably got this one. So Gary, what he's saying is that now that center island connects to all 3 parcels.
How did we get here? How did we get a property in the middle of a property? First, be my first question. That's for another day. You're the survey. Yeah, no, I wasn't here 30 years ago, trust me. We're fine with it.
By the way. Me either, by the
Yeah.
way.
We're fine with it as long as it's spelled out that the owner of that parcel, I don't care if it's 20 years from now, that owner buys that lot, then he would have to adjoin it, but,
Fair enough.
yeah, currently the
You go with that?
applicant does not own the center lot, so the applicant would not be subject to it. It would be the owner there. Yep, I'm good with that. So you see what I'm saying with any of the adjacent parcels?
Yeah. I didn't know that. Where is this? This is what we're talking about. But on the one we redone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see it, I see how it touches this red.
Yeah. I didn't see it over here.
So everybody's good and well, we all are on the same page.
Good, I really am task carrying as long as, Christina knows how to write the condition.
So I have a motion and a second, any other discussion? Commissioner Doster?
Yes.
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 Yeah. Old business, consider approving a contract with C.W. Matthews contracting on the 2026 Elmay Road project.
Contract prepared by Kim.
This is,
Well, that's my form. I mean, yeah, Christina always customizes it.
yeah, I have it's his template, I have it highlighted to what sections I plug in, plugged into a section. So everything's good with them.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Yes.
New business, discuss division options for intergovernmental agreement for T-Splash, which Ms. Baxter, I think, sent an email, I think everybody.
Yes, so what you have is my math, the top sheet, I'll explain that. You have a draft resolution for T-Splosh, and then you have a draft IGA. The dates have changed on the IGA, as of after lunch, this was printed before lunch. And then we're also working, I say we, me and Mr. Pruitt and Ms. Payne are working on the divisions. There's some new language, and some, actually there's some new laws that was changed this year on T-Splosh, so she's gonna get that stuff to you tomorrow as well. The divisions are, I took our 2026 SPLOST divisions that we just did. We had I had presented two different population numbers. The board was very adamant on using the official census numbers, which is the 2020 census numbers. And since we all agreed that those numbers were a little off, the board approved a 1.25 to 1% population ratio for SPLOST. So option one is that same division, but for T-Splosh funds. And option two is using road miles, which was also discussed in the previous T-Splosh, but was not used. The previous T-Splosh, we used population numbers. So I even went through, so what the numbers you see out beside the percentages, that number is based off of that $17.9 million, which is my projected number. I've got those number collections, what we have collected from Ms. Payne. I obviously took an average, divided it out monthly, and then I took an average of, we always collect more every year as the percentage increases, so I took an average of that percentage increase. I did not compound the interest, I just did an overall projected to finish us out, and then I used those numbers for a projected 6 years from now. That's how I come up with 17.9.
So basically, this still follows the same criteria that we established.
Yes, with a
Division one.
with a new SPLOST, yes, that's on the reference. Or that was just approved on the reference.
We're also approving the division of the 1.25.
Yes, so what I need for this tonight and what discussion is, I need for you guys to let me and Mike know what numbers you want us to plug into the IGA so the cities can approve it and get it back to us. We did meet with the mayors last Thursday, and we talked about these different options, how we come up with those numbers, what funds could be used for, and using the 2020 census population numbers. They were all fine with, obviously they are all fine with using the 1.25 because that's what the SPLOSH that we just did, that's the division we just did, and they were fine with that. You don't have to vote, it's just the board will say which division y'all would like for Mr. Pruitt to move forward with.
I mean, we're here.
Yeah, we might as well vote to
Okay.
move forward
Yep.
with an option.
Motion option one.
Okay.
So,
There you go, have a motion and a second.
Motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen?
Appreciate the work.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carried. Consider ACCG insurance renewal 2026-2027.
Yes, sir.
Before we leave that topic, I was just gonna point out to the commission, I think this is in your packets. I went ahead and did the IGA and the resolution. So the IGA incorporates that option one.
Yes.
So Christina can go ahead and get that out to all the cities to meet our deadlines. They're gonna need to approve that at their June meetings. Then at your July 6th meeting, we'll come back, you'll add your approval to this IGA, and you'll also approve the resolution. I was trying to figure out what you were saying about Susan. I think she was talking about it's 6 years, not 5, and.
That has changed, yes.
Yeah, and I see there's a typo. It says 6 years on one place on Exhibit B to the resolution, but it says 20 calendar quarters in another place, so I'll change that to 24.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Again, consider ACCG insurance renewal 26 and 27.
As soon as I seen the figures that we discussed in that presentation.
This has not been presented. This is for, vehicles, buildings, stuff like that.
What does this number compare to last year?
It's a 1.6% increase. That increase is due to, we've had very little claims because we have a high deductible. And that increase is mainly due to, we're still transferring stuff and property from the water department. So that's what that increase is.
The $100 increase compared to last year?
Yes, so, let's see. It should be.
It was 6.
Yeah, it's very little. The main reason of increase was that not only just the water department stuff coming over, actually that was the driving force for the increase because we had very little claims. It was actually kept trending down until we brought under some of their liabilities.
So can we vote on this tonight?
Yes, I think it is.
Yes, sir, we do.
I make a motion that we accept the ACCG insurance proposal for 26 through 27. Second motion.
Motion by Commissioner Adams, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Commissioner Kirk?
Yes.
Yes.
Consider accepting the convey by quit claim deed of sufficient property for presented property on Poker Road. Gary and Mike has handled this, probably knows it better than anybody. Christina has been a part of it, and I've sat on the side and watched the lines be drawn.
So originally, we had an extreme urgency on this. They were supposed to close on June 8th on this. That's why we tried to get it on the agenda for tonight. But in surveying this property, the borough's estate, we found that the Poker Fire Station is not on the Poker Fire Station land, nor is their parking lot or any of the other stuff. So
Part of it is, but it grew.
So I think in 1971, Mr. Burroughs gave them a 1,600 square foot lot, essentially, to build it. And, of course, the building's larger, 1,600 square foot. And, the client that we're representing, there's a little bit of a language barrier, but she wants to resolve this. I'm trying to convince her to just dedicate a few more thousand square feet and put the parking lot and the building entirely on its own lot versus being an encroachment for an easement, which would really cloud her title. So, looks like the closing's been pushed back to June 30th, so we'll be able to get possibly some more drawings together and not have such an urgent need for this, so.
All right, so you think we need to just postpone this until our next meeting?
Well, I don't think that she's gonna dedicate more than what we've shown here, which I think the total dedication is 3,000 or 4,000 square feet greater than what the lot already is. I mean, a lot that's not gonna meet zoning or anything like that. I mean, we're just trying to put the building in the parking lot on that.
Yeah, if we don't have to do these.
Yeah, it's, I think we're gonna keep finding stuff like this, guys, as time passes, so.
Yeah, it's actually another 5,148 square feet, so.
Yeah, well, they had the 1,600 originally, so you got 3,000, 4,000.
Oh,
roughly,
gotcha,
yeah.
that's right. Although is that, I don't know if that includes, oh, that's this is the easement proposal though. So
Yes.
if that
Yep.
easement were to become the property line, it would be a little more.
We're not getting into the footages, we're just accepting the conveyance by quitclaim.
So I guess what our strategy is here, for closing is that we would record a retracement survey showing the encroachments. And then we record a second survey that would be signed by either the board or by Tracy that would show the new property, and then when she closes, she would convey the equipment and that new tract. That's
So
it.
it's basically all we're doing, if we approve this tonight, is the intent of what you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly,
So-
and because there was a time of urgency, y'all have a policy, and it's a good one, that says people can't just go record a deed to give you property, you have to accept it. I suggested you accept this in principle, we can work, that way we don't hold up their closing.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the
Second motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Shannon.
graphic in general.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I think we just done it. Commissioner Adams.
Yes. Yes.
With many thanks to, Mr. Burris for the use of this property.
I think it's passed on, so
Oh,
it's a
okay.
mistake we're working with at this point, so, yeah.
I wouldn't have your job. But we appreciate you navigating it for us the best you can.
Just be fortunate I was able to discover it and have some sellers that were willing to work with y'all, so, yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, consider committing $40,000 to the rec department for the 2026, recreation trail program grant project, second level application process.
So the recreation department, has already been approved for this. They've made it through the first level of this grant, and this is the second level. It's just to confirm that $40,000 commitment. That was part of what y'all approved last October 2025. And it was kind of mixed in with a bunch of paperwork, knowing that that was the intent. It's also part of the rec department's master plan for this trail. There's also quotes for the total project is $240,000, and that's been submitted to DNR as well. They have that for us. So this is just, they're requiring.
It's 200,000, 160 plus the 40.
So they're requiring the 40,000 commitment as a resolution.
But it's already been done, we just haven't approved the actual resolution.
In the past,
Yeah.
the letter of commitment that was done in October was sufficient. It went to Washington with the letter of commitment, because this is actually not coming through the usual park services, it's coming through, Department of Transportation. They want their own little resolution.
All right.
The commitment that we made last time, when you say that, I'm gonna ask you a very specific question, we budgeted this. Or is this
This-
a new appropriation?
This will actually come out, the grant award will come out this fall. The money will be not, in the current budget, but the following budget.
It'll be committed today.
Yeah,
They'll have to pull it
committed
out of
today, so it'll
Yeah.
have to be, yeah.
That's true. So, no, not that I'm aware of.
It'll be encumbered today.
Yeah.
You'll write a check somewhere down the road, but the money will be encumbered today.
Correct.
That's a big word.
It is.
And Commissioner Duster, this is another one where anytime that we use, local, either volunteer or county, the in-kind goes against the 40,000.
Yep, cash or in-kind.
Yep.
But in all honesty, our in-kind will probably make up the difference.
Yes.
Because we do need to vote on it to get the resolution.
Motion that we approve the $40,000 commitment for the grant, recreational trails program grant.
I have a motion by Commissioner Adams, second by Commissioner Kirk. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Commissioner Chase.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Urgent matters.
Yes. And In your packet, there's two things I wanted to mention under urgent matters. The first one is ethos preservation. Rebecca Fenwick partnered with Ecolab, with Ethos and Ecolab, and they did the historical structure report for the historic courthouse. And the board had asked and discussed future funding, and funding for this project. So I have been in contact with Rebecca probably once a month since then. There are two large grants coming available. They're both $750,000 grants. One is through the National Park Service History of Equal Rights, and the other one is through African American Civil Rights Grant Opportunities. Neither one of those require a match, and they both, either one you can apply for a phase 1 rehabilitation scope of the courthouse, or construction documents for the complete rehabilitation of the courthouse, to use the funds on exterior stabilization measures. So my suggestion in conversation with her was we would go for option 2, the exterior stabilization measures, because that's kind of where the HSR report put us to start. So what I'm asking for is for her to write the grant and apply for both at $6,500, whether for that service, whether we get the grant or not. Once we get the grant, they can administer it, and then those funds can come out of the actual grant themselves. She did say that if the board felt like they want to put a match with the $750,000, that obviously helps in your grant application. But I didn't ask for that. I'm just asking for the $6,500 because I know that that's a fee that we will inquire. And I would like for, if you do allocate the $6,500, you also allow the chairman to sign that paperwork when the grant is open to be submitted, because they'll have a very quick turnaround time. So I don't know if I could get it back before the board in between meetings.
So the question tonight is, you want $6,500?
Yes, to apply for a grant.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the $6,500 and, for tonight, and then I'll make a request simply that yourself and Susan research our budget for this year to see if there's any opportunities to come up with $750,000.
Match.
Well, there is no match requirement.
But money on the table, we will.
The board has allocated $2 million to the old courthouse. That's sitting in your reserve.
Okay, so we don't even have to talk about it.
Correct.
Then I think we'll draw that last part.
If you would like to add any, and
Does she need to just know in her application that we have made that commitment? Is that?
no, because if I have that conversation with her and tell her that we have those funds, so she's going to ask, how much of those funds are you willing to use for? So, you can't really turn in an application and say, oh, well, we have up to $2 million to spend. I got to give them $1.
Figure authorize $750,000 for $750,000.
You could, if you wanted to treat it like a 50-50, you could.
You, in order to do that, you gotta clearly read how the grant can be used, because if it's all in engineering, now you got 1.5 in engineering. You gotta understand the uses of that grant, so you don't wanna over-allocate either.
Do you have enough information to suggest to us whether or not, and how much we would consider stating that we would commit to that grant?
If we were talking about $1,000, then I would say yes. But if you're talking about $750,000 or $1 million, I would say no. I want to do some more research to be sure I know what.
Good answer. You committed $6,500.
Yeah.
So what you can do.
Yes, I'm fine with $6,500.
Derek, this is your ball.
You know, I say a lot of stuff, and, you know, in a 0.25% or 25% of the 750s, 187. So out of the $2 million, I'd be comfortable, you know, up to $200,000. That makes an application very, in my mind, more attractive than just give me a handout.
Yes.
And then it kind of preserves our power, so to speak, for future other activities. So I mean, I think that would be, I would make an amended motion up to, you know, 25% as a match to the 750 and authorize, I think Christina asked for authorization to sign and stuff, so I appropriate, the amended motion to have appropriate staff and management sign proper documents.
You're comfortable with that? All right, so I have a motion and a second.
This is specifically as stated in this paper.
Historical rights.
All right, any other discussion on this topic, gentlemen? Hearing none.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And Commissioner Doster is correct. We have done 25%. I think the USDA grant was a 25%, if I'm not mistaken, because it just makes our grant more valuable. We still will definitely read through the fine print of the uses of that.
The second thing I had under urgent matters, because we had a sealed bid opening this morning. You have that packet, bid tabulation. There were 5 bids submitted. Normally, staff internally goes through these and does the bid tabulation. This is the CDBG project for Griffith Road. So we have hired Armatrout as the engineer, and they are going through and looking through that, and they will make a recommendation to the BOC. So at our next board meeting, we will have that contract, which is part of the bid document, Mike, so I can send that to you just to be sure you're okay with that. And we'll do the award and the contract at our next BOC meeting.
Do we have any of these that we would delete just prior to dissatisfied use?
No, we actually spoke with Armatrout, and the ones that we know and we're good with, he knows the other ones that he's good with too. So someone that we haven't used, he has worked with, and he said that they were all very good contractors.
It has not been the best experience.
And what's it called?
All right, executive session to discuss real estate acquisition, personal matter, potential litigations.
No, sir.
Commissioner Doster.
Move adjourned.
Thank you, sir.
It's safe for us to have a discussion here. I didn't wait for another day to go to.
Hey, I'm doing walking out the door. I may not be, may not have the capacity to answer your questions, but I'm willing to.
Keep it short.
I didn't point towards my car.
I promise to try to word them correctly. First is very simple, I want to thank you, so
Good one.
What's up, Miss John?
Thank you.
Pretty good.